With the NFL league year right down the street, this is an exciting time for NFL fans where free agency begins and teams begin to construct the team as they want it going forward for the 2024 season. There have been signings, trades, players franchise tagged, and teams retaining their own stars. But to me, there is one saying that comes to mind when I think of the start of the legal tampering period. And that saying is, you cut off your nose to spite your face. And when I sit back and think about it, this to me pertains to the Baltimore Ravens when it comes to free agency. Now, if you have been a Ravens fan for a while, you know that the Ravens do not typically go all in on the first few days of free agency. They sit back and they wait. And to me, this is the direct opposite of what the Baltimore Ravens said this offseason.
We want to do right by Lamar and build the best operation that we can for him so his talents can really shine. And I think we're just starting with that.
Now, I know the Ravens are cash strapped when it comes to the salary cap and signing people. But if you truly meant what you said, then I think certain things should have come into place during day one. This season, more than many others, the running backs have been put to the forefront of free agency. And with the Ravens needing a running back, a real running back, to guide this ground game, the Ravens stood pat and waited to see what fell to them as they normally do. During the last few weeks, there has been speculation that the Ravens were front runners for certain stars, and the Ravens did not get any of them. Nor do I believe because of the price tags that they even went after them. Running back Saquon Barkley, which I personally thought was going to come to the Ravens, being that they said they were the front runners and most likely to be the ones to sign him, they did not. Saquon Barkley decided that he was going to go over to a division rival that offered him the most money, up to $48 million with incentives and triggers. So I can't blame him for doing that. $48 million is a lot of money for a running back, especially in today's market. But then we start to take a look at the other, quite possibly not as high profile as the Saquon Barkley deal. You had DeAndre Swift going over to the Bears. You had Austin Eckler, who signed with the Washington Commanders. You had Josh Jacobs sign with a division rival in the Green Bay Packers. In turn, they released Aaron Jones, who possibly many thought would come to the Ravens, actually signed with the Minnesota Vikings. And last but not least, Tony Pollard went over to replace Derk Henry with the Tennessee Titans. So as far as the running back market went, now there are really slim pickings. Now I know A.J. Dillon is out there. Then we were left believing that there was a Zach Moss out there, but he signed with the Cincinnati Bengals, and in turn, they released Joe Mixon. I don't think Joe Mixon is a bad running back, but personally, I don't want him on the Ravens. And we sit back each and every year waiting for pieces to fall to us and hope that they can become stars when other teams have given up on them. And now I know with all the free agent departures, everyone is going to get really excited about the comp picks. Whoopee, yay, celebration. But what are these comp picks actually going to do for the Ravens going forward? Nada. So hopefully the Ravens can get a deal done with Derk Henry. It has been reported that they offered him $6.5 million. Now with other running backs getting $10, $11, $13 million a season, what is that $6.5 million really going to do? I know there aren't many teams left for Henry to go to, but the Dallas Cowboys may be competition. They lost Tony Pollard. They don't really have a solid backup in play. So if the Cowboys actually offer him more money, he may be gone. And then what are we left with? Because even in this market, a market that the Ravens probably didn't truly count on, the Ravens lost some players of their own, and most notably to me, Gus Edwards. Now, I don't know if this was some sibling rivalry type thing, but Gus Edwards decided, I'm going from one Harbaugh to the next, going with Jim Harbaugh and the Los Angeles Chargers, reuniting with Greg Roman, being familiar with that offense. And I'm sure that they probably offered Gus more than the Ravens were willing to offer. But Gus was supposed to be a backup plan for the Ravens that they said they wanted to re-sign. I don't know how hard that they truly went after him, because they could have re-signed him before this legal tampering period opened. So now what do we have left? Because we only have Justice Hill and Keaton Mitchell on the roster. Justice Hill is not at 1 nor 2, and Keaton Mitchell is coming off of an injury. And even still, is he an every down back? Is he someone that can carry the team? We really don't know. So once again, the Ravens have dropped the ball when it comes to adding talent around Lamar. Now they still have this option to get Derk Henry, but I'm not feeling too confident in this situation right now. So along with Gus Edwards departing, the Ravens also lost safety Gino Stone to the division rival Cincinnati Bengals. Now I understand a lot of the Ravens flock are upset that he went over to the enemy, but listen, they offered this man some money. What was he supposed to do? Sit around and say, I'm going to wait for loyalty. I'm going to wait for somebody else to come get me and hopefully give me the same amount of money. Let us not forget, the Ravens cut Gino Stone twice. So when you talk about loyalty, let's think about that for a minute. Also, Also, the Ravens lost cornerback Darby. They lost returner Devin Duvernay. But being that returns are being taken out of the game, Duvernay to me is not going to be a truly huge loss. Tylan Wallace looks like he can fill in admirably, so I don't see too much of a drop off there. But the Darby one might hurt a little bit. We may have been counting on him to come back and be cornerback number 2, possibly if we let Marlowe go. But I'm sure that they can find that level of play from somebody else. Not concerned. We have draft picks, many draft picks at the cornerback position that should be able to take over that spot. And last but not least, late in the night, the Ravens lost John Simpson, who went to the New York Jets to protect Aaron Rodgers. And with the guard market picking up steam and a lot of guards getting paid this offseason, I'm sure John Simpson was looking for his payday. He got a 2-year, $18 million deal, 9 years per. Don't know if the Ravens could have matched that or even if they wanted him back. But being that they have no guards right now on this roster that has starting experience, it leaves a little bit for concern. So does this mean that they have to re-sign Kevin Zeitler? Not because they want to, but because they have to. There's not much left in the guard market that the Ravens have in their price point. It's always right player, right price. But for the upper tier offensive linemen, are the Ravens willing to shell out the money that they need to get the offensive line that Lamar Jackson truly deserves? Now, no other moves are made. There have been no cuts, no re-signings, no restructures of contracts. And the Ravens have till 4 p.m. tomorrow to get under the salary cap and actually create some space to actually make some moves. Revisionist history will tell you they're going to wait till the last minute, make their moves, and then sign some off-ball free agent or some over-the-hill big name just to say, look, we signed somebody, and the Ravens flock is going to cheer, hooray, we signed so-and-so, who's not going to make an impact on his team whatsoever. So as of right now, Baltimore Ravens, Eric DeCosta, the ball is in your court. Appreciate you for dropping by. Another video down. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you are aware when I come out with new videos on the Baltimore Ravens. So make sure you come back, check out what's going on in the free agency world, see what the Baltimore Ravens have done. And until then, it's your boy.